Hello?
You have a collect call from an Indiana Department of Corrections facility.
Hey, honey, what you doing?
Oh, chilling with Zane. Just got back from church.
Oh, nice.
Had a conversation with my kids that I didn't want to have. I was choosing to stay in prison for another year, and I had already chose so many different things over them. That was a rough time. Yeah. I was raised around a lot of drug use and alcohol. By 15, I was a full-blown alcoholic. My addiction was so bad. I don't know how I kept a job. I don't know how I owned a home for 16 years. How I took care of my kids and they thrived. I still look back on that today and I'm like, I don't know how you maintained, but I did until I didn't. What I was involved in was serious. I mean, a girl died. I felt so bad for the life that you could never bring back. It's hard. I did not want to leave prison the same way I came in. I got sober and I was able to build an amazing relationship with God. I was going to get out of prison early and just didn't feel like my prison time was done yet.
We opened the first coding class in a U.S. prison. And since then, we've had tremendous success and sort of blew the ceiling off what people thought was possible.
First day, I was just like, there's no way I'm going to be able to complete this class. One of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life. But I also knew that I'd given up a lot to sit in that chair.
Billie had that commitment that I think is unparalleled. The fact that someone would stay in prison to finish this program because they believe.
I just took a Post-it note and I wrote on it, quitting is not an option, and I stuck it on my monitor. Leading up to the end of the class was bittersweet. I loved being in that classroom, and I knew it was about to be over, but then it was like, I get to go home. And I just accomplished one of the hardest things I've ever done in my entire life. Getting out of prison was not easy. I thought it would be a lot easier.
The barriers to success are pretty significant. You can't get housing if you have a criminal record. You can't get jobs.
I put in so many applications and no one was giving me a chance. That was extremely overwhelming. I wasn't going to give up. We heard all the time in the classroom, like what the last mile does, what they do for you when you get out. Their reentry program there are no words for how phenomenal it is. So Molly, the reentry coordinator, I met with Molly every week, sometimes twice a week. I would call her crying when I was overwhelmed.
Hello.
Hey, Billie, it's Molly.
How are you?
We had our meetings every week, and she was like, hey, do you want to go work for the Pacers? I was like, whatever.
Well, Steve Simon is a good friend, and he became an advocate early on.
We're always thinking, can we be involved, tell a story of, how much we've gotten out of working with the Last Mile and how we want to grow that program.
Could we get to the point where the Pacers hire someone? He's observed the success we've had over the years and saying, okay, we're ready now, and hopefully the Pacers set an example of what is possible for other teams to really follow and impact their communities.
It's just unbelievable. I pull into the parking garage and almost every morning I tear up because I cannot believe I'm going to work for that organization.
Someone who's paid their debt to society should be welcomed back if they've gone down that positive path. We show that if we operate rehabilitation the right way, you have people coming out, productive, not going back to prison. Just the success of one person has a huge downstream effect on public safety and generational incarceration.
The idea of collectively society figuring out a way to, love them and forgive them and have them reach their full potential, that's like obvious.
I mean, it's life-changing. I mean, I'm experiencing that right now. I have worked so hard, and I'm going to keep going. For my family, for those I hurt, for those that need a fair chance, like the people sitting in the last mile seats right now. People can change, and give them a chance. Give them a chance.